Interest rates seem to be sky high right now, and you're wondering whether or not you should buy a home right now. We're diving into the pros and cons of buying with higher mortgage rates. Hi everyone, so you're trying to decide if now is a good time to buy a home even with the mortgage rate so high. Ultimately, it'll come down to your situation and what makes sense for you. And the goal here is to help you make an informed decision. And first, really quick, my name is Xochitl Cervantes with RockStone Realty Group here in Austin, Texas. And if you're looking to make a move, well, just give me a call, text me, or email me, and let's chat. And if you're wondering what your mortgage payment may be with today's interest rate, well, just email me and I'll send you a mortgage calculator that you can use to calculate exactly what you will be paying. Mortgage rates are the amount of money a bank is charging you to borrow money to buy a house. The higher the rate, the more expensive your mortgage rate and the less you can afford to pay for a house. The lower the rate, the cheaper your mortgage payment is going to be, and you can afford to pay more for a home. But right now, mortgage rates are high, and that's because the Federal Reserve has been jacking interest rates up to combat inflation. Even though we hit a high of over 7% recently, the good news is rates have fallen again due to inflation starting to fall back down. So with that in mind, let's dive into whether it makes sense to buy a house and unpack some big advantages you have in buying a home right now. So the higher interest rates have caused home prices to go down. In our area, home prices here in Austin have come down about 8%. So buying now actually means you're buying at a discount of the high prices we saw recently just last year. But what if home prices go down even more? Well, that means that the value of the house you bought might be worth less than what you're actually paying for it. While this is possible, it is important to remember that real estate is a long-term investment. This means that even if home prices go down in the short term, they usually go up in the long term. In fact, the National Association of Realtors says that the average price of a home has gone up about 5.6% for the past 40 years. So if you're thinking about buying a home, it is important to think about your long-term plans. Do you want to live in the house for the next 5 to 10 years? If so, it may be a good idea to buy a home, even if prices may come down in the near term, because over the long term, they more than likely will rise again and you'll be just fine. Now, if you plan to move again in the next 2 years, then it's probably not a good idea to buy right now. Another thing to consider is the cost of renting versus owning. Renting a home usually costs less each month than paying a mortgage. True. But when you rent a home, you're not building any equity in the property. This means that you're not getting any financial benefit from the money you're paying each month. Renting is essentially paying 100% interest to your landlord because you're getting absolutely nothing back on that money you're paying. On the other hand, when you own a home, you're paying down your mortgage and building equity that can be a valuable asset in the future. So you need to decide, does it make sense to pay a quote, high interest today that helps you build long-term wealth, or 100% interest to your landlord? There are also other costs to consider when you own a home, like a property taxes, like insurance. These costs can add to the monthly expenses of owning a home, but they also help you protect your investment. Property taxes and interest can typically be written off on your income taxes, saving you quite a bit of in income taxes. Consult with your CPA on that, though. There are several big benefits to buying a home when the market is down like it is right now, despite of the higher interest rates. So first, there's far less competition to buy a home. During the pandemic, competition was insanely fierce. Homes will sell in a couple of days with dozens of offers and tens of thousands of dollars over listing price. And because of this, home buyers often were buying homes that they didn't really love, but they were forced to overlook things in a home that they didn't like if they wanted to buy a home at all. This was Austin last year. Now you have a time to shop for a home, negotiate with the seller on the price, and even get seller credits to cover your closing costs to keep money in your pocket. It is possible to buy a home for as little as $15,000 down out of pocket with an FHA loan right now. and you can use the seller credits to buy down your interest rate. So essentially, the seller is helping you to get your interest rate for 1 to 10% lower. So now you're buying a home at a discount, getting a lower interest rate, having your closing costs covered, and you get to actually get a home you want to buy. In conclusion, while there are risks involved in buying a home, there are also many benefits. It is important to think about your budget, location, preferences, and long-term plans before making a decision. Even though home prices might go down in the short term, real estate has shown to be a great investment in the long term. Remember to contact me if you want the mortgage calculator or if you want to chat about your specific situation with buying a house. If you're thinking about buying and found this information useful, let me know in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date on what's happening in the Austin real estate market, well then subscribe to this channel. Let's connect, and I'll see you next week.